We are going live. It says going live right now. Oh my
We're
days.
live.
Oh, we're live.
Am I
Hey,
really dark
sick.
now? Am I in the light?
No, you're not. This is.
There we go.
Yeah, fine. We're both dark. It's okay. You know what? I'll show that on you.
Oh,
That's okay. Okay, and it died.
oh.
It is what it is. Anyway, podcast number 3. How are you feeling?
It's great. It's really weird. Like, I feel really excited. I don't know why. I feel like because it's live and it's just like, you know.
Okay, well, if you see there, top left, for us anyway, you see the live count. So number 1, there's only one person, which is just us.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be one person at all times. But if anyone joins you, actually, you know what? I'm going to change it so you can't see. Okay, it's a bit scuffed. This podcast is scuffed, but happy Diwali.
Oh yeah, happy Diwali. Happy Diwali. I feel like we should argue. But
I mean, we've already celebrated.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much to do in lockdown. We had samosa chaat.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and we have jalebi.
Yes.
So Indian sweets and an Indian dish, and it was banging. Mum made it.
Well, not really. Yes.
Well, she did.
Well, we got the jalebis. Me and my mum and the samosas. Me and mum went to the Gurdwara. So they had it really hygienic there. So when you walk in, you have to sanitize. You have to put gloves on, and then you go in. Matha take this, or you
bow down,
and
give respect.
Respect. And then you go, and then also prashad. We had prashad there. It was nice. They put it in like little bags, so like sort of a whole COVID thing. And then and then we went over, ordered some jalebis. We should have ordered more. We ordered 2.5 kgs, and then afterwards we were in the car. We was like, we should have ordered 3 kgs.
Yeah,
and they would just smell so good. And the thing is, when we tasted them, they weren't like highly like sweet. And I think because it's in the Gurdwara, they make it like as good for you as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you buy it from the shops, you don't know what they're gonna put in. They're gonna put in, and they're gonna try to make it so that customers are gonna come back again. So they're gonna make it sweet as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
To make it addictive. But with these ones, they tasted good. And they weren't too sweet, and they were pretty banging.
Yeah.
And then with the samosas, obviously recently trying to limit my salt intake, sugar intake, so whole eczema.
Yeah, trying to cure that.
Yeah, reverse it. And the samosas, my mum said they were plain, but I thought they were amazing.
They were plain, but when you put it in the for white folks, they would say curry, but obviously we call it chole, that type of dish.
Yeah.
And obviously with a bit of onion and a bit of sauce as well.
Yeah.
It kind of like spiced it up.
Yeah.
But I think if we had the samosas by themselves, they would have been very, very dry and dull. But anyway.
I mean.
Yeah, I mean.
You guys, I think because I have been on such low salt intake.
For you, it was like.
For me, it felt like the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Whereas for someone like average, I guess, it would be like for a bit.
I get that.
Dull.
Cool. Well, it wasn't the Diwali we expected for this year, but I'm trying. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, first thing I want to ask you anyway is you're in year 11.
Yes.
Okay. I was in your position 3 years ago, but when I was doing them, we didn't have COVID. We didn't have a worldwide pandemic to deal with.
Yes.
How has revising for mock exams and GCSEs and just studying what's your experience with it?
All right. Well, before we go into that, I still don't feel like I'm in year 11. Like, I still feel like I'm in year 10, maybe just heading into year 11. Like, it feels really weird. Like, at the end of year 10, everybody just left and separated.
Mm.
And me especially, like, I just lost all contact with my friends. Yes, I was talking to some friends, but it was like, friends that I usually wouldn't talk, like friends that I don't talk to at home, but I talk to a lot, just generally because I'm in their classes or sitting next to them. So because that happened, it was like year 10 just ended, and it never like truly ended. You know what I mean? Like we all just left.
Yeah.
And so when we got back and came back into year 11 and met everybody, and it was refreshing. And I think during lockdown, I think similar people had the same experiences. It was really tough on my mental health. Like it was just every day felt the same, no progression, and just a bit depressing. You know,
No,
I don't want to
okay.
say depressing because people who actually have depression, you know, it could be a bit offensive maybe, but yeah, it was a dull moment. But right now, I feel happy because I get to meet with friends, I get to talk with friends, and maybe even like, well, you know, help them out
Yeah.
with things.
Mhm.
As far as GCSEs goes, obviously, in England we're still doing them. They've been pushed back by 2 weeks, but how are we going to recover from 6 weeks of
Yeah.
lost learning
For
in
anyone
2
who,
weeks?
for anyone who doesn't know, I think Wales they've already cancelled GCSEs and they've made it
yeah.
official. Anyway, carry on. I just want it just
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna also talk about that, but in terms of my experience right now, I am affected greatly, but honestly, it just means that there's more pressure. All lockdown has done is just made it harder and just more stressful, really, because the topics we're learning, like, I don't know how to describe it really. Like, it's just an odd experience, and because for me, I don't know what you went through. I can't really tell you the difference. You know what I mean?
Okay. Shall I tell you how year 11 was for me?
Yeah.
Well, GCSEs anyway. Obviously I can't remember much because I have crap memory, but so Christmas time we probably, as you've done as well, we would have done our mocks.
Yeah.
And obviously they were important, but no one really revised for them. What about you? Did your year really revise for mocks?
Yeah, lots of people. So for us, mocks is probably the most important thing right now. Yeah. Mocks, like, there's a girl in my science biology class sits next to me. Her name, actually, I won't say her name just because I don't know. She said she'd been revising since before lockdown because she was so stressed.
That's like 8 months.
I know, and she got a 9 in a biology mock.
Fair play. I didn't get a single 9 in GCSEs. Anyway, carry on.
I already got 9.
Yeah, explain to anyone who is watching.
Right, so in Higham, there's a Higham Lane School which I go to. There's an option to take fast track maths, and normally without lockdown, in year 10 you take fast track maths, and pretty much all it is you take your maths GCSE 1 year early, and then in year 11 you take statistics and like a mini A level kind of test instead. Because of lockdown and COVID, it didn't happen. I didn't do my exams, and instead they gave us teacher-based grading. And so in my mocks, just before lockdown, I got a level 8, and so that's really high. And the thing is, with that mock, we were going into that mock, we hadn't even covered all the topics yet. And all the topics were in that mock. I got a level 8. I was happy. I thought I could have got even more, but then I felt I got ripped off a little bit of too much. But yeah. And it seems like what they did was, like, if you got a 7, you got an 8 for your GCSEs. Yeah. And if you got an 8, then you got like a 9. And if you got 9, you...
So like 1 above.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. For like A levels, it wasn't like that. First year was based on like some random computer generated system, and then they said, okay, just we'll give you what your teachers think you'll get, and I just pretty much got my marks pretty much.
Yeah, I think for us it was a special case because, like, with the actual GCSEs, they would have had a lot more mocks to base it on. For us, we had 1 mock, and like we're a special case because it's only like 1 year we had, so it's hard to gauge what we would have actually got.
Yeah,
but I think, yeah.
So yeah, basically he smashed it. He got a 9, and when I did my maths GCSE year early, I got a 7.
Honestly, I think year 10 for maths was probably my favorite year in terms of maths because we went through the topics so quickly, and I have a naturally maths-based mind, as in like I find maths problems interesting and I enjoy doing them.
And you enjoy getting challenged in maths.
Exactly, yeah. And then so yeah, that was amazing. And then heading into year 11, we're just doing statistics, and then that was just a bore. But luckily, what they decided was that every 1 to 2 weeks, not 1 to 2 weeks, 1 to 2 lessons per week, we have a different teacher who will cover the mini A level topics, so that if we want to take A level maths, we're a little bit more prepared.
Yeah,
which
it's pretty much what I did as well.
yeah, and we did, and I've been enjoying that a lot more than statistics, not gonna lie. But it's just refreshing, and yeah, just.
The only reason I like statistics is because we're kind of like because everyone in the class found it easy. That's kind of the reason why everyone pretty much liked it, because it was just such an easy GCSE.
Yeah, I think when you have something easy GCSEs alongside, because you had to do both, right? You had to do
second year 11.
Yeah,
we had to do second.
So you would have had like one lesson you did that, one lesson you did mini A level.
Or
something similar.
Yeah, something similar. It was either that or we split up at the year and a half.
Oh, okay.
It was that or that.
Because with us, right? Imagine you haven't done maths in ages in lockdown, because and then you go in and you do statistics. It's such an easy topic. It's such a bore. The lessons are so long. But now, recently, that when they added the mini A level like teacher teaching us topics, statistics isn't so bad because it kind of like balances it out. And it's like, okay. But yeah, I love that.
Okay, well, I think that's enough GCSE talks.
Yeah, a bit boring.
Yeah. Let's go on to something new. So the new generation consoles, PS5 and Xbox Series X or S if you want a smaller version. Okay, so if you were to get a new generation Xbox, new console, would you go for Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation by far.
Really?
PlayStation by far.
So we have Xbox One, and we had the Xbox 360 before. So we've been like Xbox branded pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm saving up for a PC, so I really don't care if you get an Xbox, PlayStation. I'll probably play either one which you get. So the decision is really on you, and you'll probably get it next year instead of this year because it'll be cheaper. Yeah. So I want to know what's your reason for getting a PlayStation?
I'm just, oh my god, I hate like how they've conducted themselves. Like they've just no like special offers, like hardly any good games that they've released with the Xbox. I mean, like
they're good, but there's only like one or two.
The deals that PlayStation 4 got, like Spider-Man. Honestly, I can't remember anything of Spider-Man, but they had loads. Like PlayStation players would know, like, and like I feel like we just suffered from that, and a lot of my friends actually have PlayStation, and
it would just be a smart move for you.
Smart move, yeah. And with PlayStation 5. Like with the Spider-Man game, so
obviously Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2, which is Miles Morales. And have you seen what happens in Spider-Man 1?
I haven't watched the gameplay, but just tell me.
The gameplay looks sick and this was obviously released on PlayStation 4. The gameplay was sick, and the storyline was epic, and then it obviously continues from Miles Morales, right? Yeah. And I just saw a thumbnail. I was gonna click on Minimince's video and just like see what the new Spider-Man is, but the thumbnail just got me hyped. Just the thumbnail, and it was so sick. And and I feel like PS5 are just taking it. I feel like PlayStation just take it more seriously, and they know that their consumers are gamers. With Microsoft, I feel like they want to switch it to more of like a home service, because I think they released like
an entertainment.
Yeah, they released like I think it was like Xbox Home, but when they were talking about the Scarlet Project and stuff like that, which I can't remember. It was just vaguely. I remember a video talking about like how they were trying to. It was less representation of gamers, and it was more of like a family kind of thing. Whereas when I'm playing, right, when I'm playing a game,
You want to be a gamer.
I want to be a gamer. I want to enjoy the experience. And with PlayStation, and Sony, they know what gamers want. They want like, you know, offers, deals.
Yeah.
And
I guess you know how you said for PlayStation they have the better games, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
just about exclusive games. Obviously, people can say the Game Pass for Xbox kind of counteracts that. Like that's their plus because PlayStation don't get the Game Pass. But I think like even the games on Game Pass, I don't know if Halo's on Game Pass, but I know Halo's only Xbox
But it's
exclusive.
just I feel like Xbox was just so lackluster because with PlayStation and Sony, they went out and invested. They invested loads. Like by that I mean like they spent a lot of money to get the deals. Where with Xbox, it felt a bit lackluster, and they were like, "Yeah, we've got this Game Pass that you can have add-ons and stuff like that." Whereas with Sony, it felt like they were more engaged because they spent a lot of money like just on games, and they made exclusive games. And the fact that because it was exclusive, it made it more appealing for gamers, like increased their customer loyalty, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if I was in your position and I was going to choose Xbox, PlayStation, I think I would go PlayStation. And have you seen the controllers for the new Xbox and the PlayStation?
No, I haven't.
So the Xbox One pretty much looks like the Xbox Elite controller.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the triggers on the back, but the D-pad has changed to the Xbox Elite, and everything else is pretty much staying the same. However,
there's lack of innovation.
True.
Like why? And why are they so? Why don't they offer smaller controllers? Like my hands are tiny, but like I do like the Xbox controllers sometimes. But like I feel like if they had a variation of where they sold their general Xbox controller and they're like a smaller size, and then they could mess around with the prices, I think that would be pretty cool because it's kind of shown that they're innovative, and it kind of shows that like. Not they do care, but like they're active with their business. You know, they have ideas coming through.
I think you can get like controllers sold by third-party companies, not Microsoft, which you can get like smaller controllers. I think it's definitely
because everything feels just a bit samey, you know.
Yeah, I feel like I feel the same. But the PlayStation controller, it's gotten bigger because I didn't like the PlayStation 3 controller, and I don't think I've played PlayStation 4. I know it's been out for 7 years.
Yeah,
but I never really got the chance to play PlayStation, and I didn't like the controller. It was too
clunky.
I didn't know. I can't remember because it was ages ago, but I just didn't like the feel of the PlayStation controller.
I know what you mean. I've played with PlayStation 3 and 4 controller. I think the 4 was that. I think they were the similar actually, but the main I liked it because I just have small hands.
I didn't like it. I mean, I've got small hands, but
I like the PlayStation 4 controller. I don't know what the difference. I don't know if there was a difference, but I played it around on one of my friend's house, and it felt good in a certain sense because it was small. I feel like because it's smaller, your thumbs are closer together, and so it just makes it more.
What they did,
like
they made the PlayStation 5 controller bigger, right?
Yeah.
And they moved the thumbsticks closer to your thumbs. So this because on the PlayStation 3 controller, I have to refer to PlayStation 3 because not PlayStation 4 because I didn't play that. But on the PlayStation 3 controller, I remember I had to really stretch my fingers or my thumbs to play a controller. And also, I was like 7 years old when I was playing it. So maybe like small hands and that kind of controller obviously didn't work. But now I saw a review. Can't remember which one, but they said the PlayStation 5 controller is a bit bigger. So and I liked it was a bit bigger because it was a small controller, but the thumbsticks were way too inwards. And they brought the thumbsticks outward a bit, so it feels more natural.
Right.
And have you seen the material on the actual controller?
No.
Basically,
is it rubberized and is it textured?
It's more than that. I mean, yes, it is. But I saw a TikTok, right? And for example, if you like, it will. For example, if your character is on sand, you will actually feel like you notice on sand.
Right.
If it's going through water, it will give you that water kind of feeling.
Oh, really?
I mean, I don't know how it will work. And then also, there was an animation on the screen, right? And it was like a bucket pouring a few like balls into the controller. and when he could feel the controller like getting heavy and like moving the balls around.
Right.
And obviously, I don't know how that feels, but him obviously going through that,
Exactly,
it's insane.
Do you see what I mean by innovation and lack of innovation from Xbox? Like just these tiny details is what makes consumers want to choose PlayStation over Xbox. It's because it feels like PlayStation care, whereas whereas Microsoft, like they're not doing anything, and it angers me, it frustrates me because I'm paying, and I want to trust Xbox, you know what I mean? But I feel like if they're not going to do anything, PlayStation
got the dog.
I feel like Xbox will try to be a bit more active this year. However, I feel like PlayStation 5, with the knowledge that they have, they've been doing it for a bit longer. They just have a bit more of an advantage. I feel like I'm more willing to trust them.
Okay. Well, we got like a few people watching. 2 people just left because we were rambling. But Josh said Spider-Man is for dead ballers. I think Spider-Man is sick. To be fair,
I don't know. I feel like playing it would be a lot more better than actually.
And then they also F in the chat for Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft has caption and L.
Yeah,
of course, no. Anyway, moving on. Me working from home. Me working at home for Google from home.
Yeah.
How, obviously, I can talk through that experience, but I'll probably do that in another video. I want to know, like, obviously, your older brother. I'm your older brother. And how does it feel that you're going to school and I'm still at home 24/7, and when you come home and I'm still working? Because usually, before this, I'll be playing on the Xbox.
Yeah.
And like all day, and then like, how is that like? I don't know.
That's
not a good question, but yeah.
No, like, what do you mean? Like,
like how is? Well, I think it's more of a question for me because obviously it's my experience. But I never really asked you this, and I think it would be interesting. Like, what's your experience of me working from home? What comes to
I feel like it's just part of like growing up. Like you kind of just adapt and you kind of just not expect these things.
Basically, does it feel weird? Because it feels weird for me, but I don't know for you, like someone who lives with me, is it weird for me just to like stay?
Yes and no, because I know you're a hard worker, and I know this because, well, obviously you go into Google, so like you can't be a hard worker. You can't not be you have to be a hard worker, and plus, it's not weird because like remember in the summer, like you know how you taught yourself things in order to get this Google apprenticeship.
It was more like the spring and winter of 2019.
But yeah,
2019. But yeah, I did.
The dedication, I could see the dedication. Like even if you never actually outwardly talked about it, I could see like you were working all the time. So for me to come home and see you grinding, pretty much, is kind of motivational towards me, and it makes me feel happy. I feel so happy that you're in a good position.
Okay. Yeah.
And like,
thank you.
And just like, it's kind of, I kind of expected it because it was like, you know, like if you see someone working every day, say they're a basketballer and they're taking shots every single day, you know, with that dedication, like if they're consistent with it, they're going to become something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like what I saw. Like I saw like the amount of effort you put in was just phenomenal. And like, yeah, I'm just really proud of you.
Thank you. I mean, personally, I didn't feel like I worked that hard, but when I'm looking back, I guess I worked hard.
I mean, every day. You are there every day.
I mean, I guess it was like half an hour, and especially it was also alongside college as well.
Yeah, but it's the fact that you actually. It's the fact that I can't really get my thoughts across, but it's your effort. You know what I mean? It's the fact that you actually tried.
I mean, I think you're actually gonna like end up being like more successful than me, just because you're already like you've gotten a 9. I didn't get a single 9 through on GCSEs.
No, but these are just
I know. Yeah, education system is bad.
Yeah.
It sucks. Okay.
It really depends on the drive that somebody has and the dedication.
True. All right, so I've got 2 more points.
on their
Well,
interests.
one more point, and then we're going to go through a few random questions, just for fun. So we both watched the Waffling podcast. Obviously, I
haven't actually been keeping up with it recently.
well,
'Cause I've just because of GCSEs, I've been having to work loads.
well, pretty much if you're following them on the Instagram, you can tell they're kind of falling apart,
Yeah.
and
Little bit of beef.
seems like it's beef. I don't know. We don't know what's going behind the scenes, but it looks like Joe doesn't want to do it regularly or doesn't want to have a schedule. But
Yeah.
Theo and Luke want to have it weekly. Have a proper schedule to it.
Yeah.
And I get both points.
Yeah, they're both valid reasons. What do you feel about it?
I feel like so obviously I'm business minded and I'm
Safety.
okay. Well, I like business, right? I feel like, and I've done a lot of research into YouTube and whatever, like content creation, and obviously the creative is. I feel like Joe's a creative, is more of a creator than a business mind.
Yeah.
Even though it's not a business, but when you're like making like something online and it is monetized, it kind of has to be run like a business.
It has to be more professional.
I understand how he wants to not have a schedule because it feels like it's too restrictive or like puts a bit of stress or a bit of force onto him. And he's clarified it's not because of his new friend. I forgot his name already. Elliot. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what. Anyway, but I understand that. But I feel like even once a month, surely you have enough to talk about, and even once a month, I think will be fine. I think people who watch the Waffling podcast would accept that. But having no schedule at all, and I think that's what put Theo and obviously Joe admitted it. He cancelled podcast last minute whilst Theo was traveling to London because traveling to Brighton or wherever Joe lives.
I didn't know this.
And it's been, I think I mentioned it. It has happened a few times or once anyway. And I feel like Theo and Luke just had enough really. So if you're, because they like doing a podcast, so they actually want to do it regularly because they like it.
Yeah.
So and I don't like how. I mean, I love Joe, right? I love him. Right? He's great. I've been watching him for years. But the way he says, "Oh, they're gonna do a crap podcast if they do a podcast without him," I feel like there might be a bit of insecurity there.
Yeah.
If I had a podcast, right, and I'm holding them back from doing a podcast, and they love podcasts as well, even though it's Weller's Waffling podcast, they're just as important to the podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like. Anyway,
but I feel like Joe Weller is such a big influence, right? Without him, it's like they lose half the fan base, such audience, because it's the fact that Joe Weller, it's based around Joe Weller, right? Like Joe Weller blew up. He blew up on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
He became big. He did this with his he did a fight with KSI. He's known. He's a good lad. He's interesting. He's funny. He's creative. He's got a big audience. He's created all this audience by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And how he's done it, he's been both becoming big. I don't know. Was he consistent?
He I would say he was consistent when he was blown up.
Yeah. So
slightly anyway.
So with somebody like that who's blown up so rapidly.
I wouldn't say rapidly. It has taken a few years.
Okay, it has taken a few years, but I mean, remember with the time when he was doing what's it called? Internet
melts.
Internet meltdowns or internet melts, yeah. I don't know. I feel like when you're a YouTuber, you kind of want something to be a little bit more free.
I know, but you still need a schedule to do something.
Yeah.
If you want to grow your podcast and get people watching in and out, for example, a TV show, it's going to be, I don't know, for example, I'm a celeb. It's going to be at 9 p.m. I think anyway on ITV for 2 weeks, and you're going to the audience.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
And that's why even if it's once a month, I feel like it should be there because you have 1 month to refresh.
Yeah.
And get enough things to talk about. Yeah. Even during lockdown, 1 month, a few things.
I think once every 2 weeks Is it good?
Yeah, true, but it's Joe. I don't know like if they're busy.
Right.
And also, going back to the point where I feel like, you know, what he's saying, if they do a podcast for them, it would be crap. It wouldn't be as funny as it would be with Joe. I'll accept that. It wouldn't be as funny because Joe is such a character, and he's definitely like the light, like, you know, of that podcast. But I've seen
He's
Theo.
the alpha male.
I've seen Theo on different podcasts as well, because he did a What's Good podcast with Minimums and Randolph.
He also did a Happy Hour podcast, no? I think there was one
maybe
based around.
I don't know, maybe ages ago, but I can't remember that one if it was done. But he was so natural. Like him with them was so good. I actually enjoy it. Yeah, I watched all of it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be as entertaining or as the same as waffling. It won't be as successful either because like Theo isn't as big of a name as Joe, but it would still be entertaining. I feel like even if it's just about football, because I feel like it would be a football only or football mainly heavy podcast. I think it will still be entertaining because Theo is funny. But when you put like a funnier person next to a funny, that funny person kind of gets a bit boring.
Yeah, but then it also becomes like, I was going to say, opportunity cost because like when people are watching something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I've like my schedule went from having so much free time to literally no free time.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I was watching waffling podcasts quite not consistently, but I watched like 3 or 4 like every week, and I was excited, and I was like, oh, it's coming out Wednesday, let's go, it's a Wednesday.
No, actually no, it comes out Saturday.
Oh,
what's good? Yeah, no, you carry on. Yeah, Wednesday.
And now that my schedule's been taken up, and I've also been trying to limit how long I'm on my phone,
mm-hmm.
then it becomes like, who do I want to watch? What like the maximum like mentality comes in, like
a maximum.
Or
efficiency.
like True Geordie's got this amazing podcast with Ben Francis, is his name, right?
Yeah.
Or should I watch this waffling podcast? Or should I watch this? Or should I watch Tyson Fury's hot boxing? Oh my gosh, I love Tyson.
I haven't watched that video.
I love Tyson Fury's hot boxing podcast. He has his own podcast, I think there's like 6. He's done a lot of episodes, and honestly, every single episode is so entertaining. Like Michael Buffer is such an interesting guy. Like he's been through so lot, and he's commentated so lot, and because he's presented.
Matches.
Like he's met so many people, and his experience is like mad. And like Tyson Fury has gone through so much, and not Tyson Fury, Mike Tyson. Hopefully I've been saying Mike Tyson.
You just said Tyson Fury.
But Mike Tyson, I just love him, and he's an inspiration. He's someone I look at and like get gas.
Back to waffling, because you're waffling a bit.
Right, yeah.
Because you went on a tangent there.
Yeah.
Basically, do you think waffling will continue? Based on the Instagram posts and everything.
See, I love Joe.
I want to continue.
I love the three. I love the three of them. I love the 3 of them together. I just love it.
Well, not yet. No, we're live. No, not yet. I'll let you know when we're not live. Anyway, go
on. With waffling, I feel like I love the 3 of them together, and obviously I want it to continue. But ultimately, it's their decision. If they can't sort it out, then they can't sort it out.
Okay. But would you want it to continue?
Yeah. The 3 of them together, it's just amazing.
I agree.
Just seeing a post on Instagram is of them 3 together. Like, not even talking, just a picture of them together. It's
so, yeah. Just to end off, I feel like I don't think it will continue, or if it does, it will be like once every 5 months, to be fair. Because I feel like that's just how it will be. And if Theo and Luke go off to make their own podcast, I'd say Godspeed to them. Like if you want to do a podcast and Joe's like kind of holding you back to do like a few times a year, I feel like just go off and just do it.
Yeah, they should
do both podcasts.
They'll build a fan base, and the fact is they'll grow and they'll learn how things work, and they'll get better over time. And once they get better, then it'll be like,
I feel like that'll
be really fun.
If they stick to it within a few years.
There's so many good podcasts now. There's so many podcasts.
It's saturated. Well,
it's saturated.
The more time you.
But the thing is, I don't mind it because I go like Mike Tyson's podcast. I love it. There's there's so many podcasts. Like there's an anime podcast which I like. called Trash Taste. And they talk about anime, but then they talk about their own lives, and it's banter. It's so funny, like just like random experiences that they've had throughout life, and then just the guests that they have. Just it's amazing. Like, and then the Joe Rogan podcast, like
It's
obviously bangers.
OG.
Yeah. He's been doing it for so long. Yeah, like I don't mind there being so many podcasts, but then it's like, wait, I want to watch all of them, but I don't have time.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only con.
Yeah,
you don't have time to watch all of them. Okay, so I think that's all the points. I'm just going to go through a few questions. You know what? I'll ask one question. Okay. I want to ask a good question, like a good, like interesting, funny kind of question. Okay, what is one weird thing about you?
Weird thing. What do you mean by weird?
What would you think? Okay, what is one thing about you that you would think other people would find you weird, or what do you think is one thing you find yourself about is weird? Grammar is all over the place, but yeah. Just one weird thing about you that you think is weird.
I don't know.
Do you want me to go first? I can go first.
Yeah, you can go first.
One weird thing. One weird thing.
Found that in Google.
I mean, I don't think that's. I mean, yeah, it's
impressive.
rare.
It's impressive.
It's rare, but I wouldn't say that's weird. It's a job at a tech company. I wouldn't say that's weird.
Yeah.
Something weird. Something weird that I do, or I think it can be either what you do or just about you. Weird. I think something. Okay, it is actually a tough question. Something weird about me.
Oh, I know weird about me.
I have a weird nose. I have very large nostrils.
I know, but
like someone told me you can fit cheetahs up my nose. Or what's it? It said what's it?
Yeah, it probably could. It probably could.
That's one weird thing. All right, what's yours?
For me, honestly, like I was so maths minded last year, but I've been enjoying English so much this year, and freakishly enjoying it.
Have you got a new teacher?
No, Miss Haj Stasi.
Okay.
Although we don't
probably shouldn't say a name, but okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Whoops. So I had two teachers last year, and one of them I don't have anymore, and the other one I just have like all together. And she's lovely. Like it's like I really like her, and I'm really comfortable around her. She's a good teacher. And recently I've even told her I've been enjoying the English lessons, and I think I've been enjoying it a bit too much. I think I like. There's times in lessons where I ask things and I make things a little bit more tougher for people around me by accident.
So you're that guy.
I'm that guy.
No,
I'm that guy.
I would hate you. I would hate you. If I was in your class, I would hate you.
No. I didn't make things tougher. I'm just the guy that's interested. Because last year I was not so keen, but like if you ask anybody in my English class, like do you think Aran is interested in English? They'll probably say yes, because I've been putting in effort, and I've actually been interested in what she's saying. And I've just been trying more, and I feel like I'm not making things tougher. No. I think I've phrased that wrong. I think I've just been more interested. Inquisitive, yes. And I think people can show that. But the thing is, last year I hated English. Like it was so like such a snooze fest, and I loved maths, and we did maths so much. And now I feel like because maths is gone, I'm also a creative person, and so more creativity, and I feel like English is actually making sense. And I feel like when you grow older, your brain develops. Like I like how it's layered. I like the way teachers are teaching me now that there actually is a structure to English, which I didn't know.
How do you know
until this year? Because like I know because with me, right? I've been to 3 different like sets. I was in middle set for a long period of time, and then I moved into top set. And top set, I learned a lot more than middle set. Like as in, they were just more developed. So going into
how's that 3 different sets?
Not 3 different sets. I meant to say 2 different sets.
Oh.
What I'm saying is, I used to be in middle set, and then year 9 I transitioned over to top set. when I transitioned over to top set, I felt like I was behind. I was a bit scared, a bit nervous, a bit anxious, I guess. But pretty much, I felt a little bit overwhelmed because everybody was so much smarter than me, and I felt like everybody was here, and I was like here, and I was in, and I had to keep up, right? And so this gap was something that I didn't have.
Do you think you covered it now?
I think I'm definitely covering it now. Like there was, when you're in Middlesex, they tell you sentence starters, but they don't explain why the sentence starters are there. And like the PA structure just makes a lot more sense now.
Okay.
So
so that's your weird thing.
And I think another weird thing is you never
shut up. You never shut up. That's the weird thing about you.
No. If I'm quiet, I'm either really quiet or I'm really.
You never stop talking for like hours.
Yeah, but at school, like, I don't know. I feel I can be really quiet and peaceful, or I can be really energetic and like
never ending.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a good place to stop the podcast.
Oh, this is such a bad podcast.
It is what it is. It's only my third episode, so I'm happy for you to. Let's see if there's no other chats. There is another person watching apparently. But yeah. Any last words to say?
Happy Diwali. Have a good time. Celebrate Diwali. Have some sweets. Just have a good time. I want to say, recently I've learned this lesson, and it's probably a really powerful lesson. If you want, if you want your life to be happier, for example, you need to yourself be happy first. The energy and the positivity that you spend into the world, you give into the world, the world will give back to you. I phrased it really well. Like I was writing down my thoughts, and they were saying like, and I wrote something like, the energy you put into the world is the same energy the world will give back to you. You know what I mean? So if you're a negative person, or if you're an angry person,
basically be positive, and then positive things will happen to you.
Yeah, and like I've just been seeing it everywhere. Like recently,
make sure you don't waffle.
Okay, I
end this within the next minute.
Okay. So recently, I noticed that like sometimes I would just react without thinking about it, and I was like, I just reacted really negatively there. And so recently, I've been saying I feel normal, but I'm gonna tell my brain I'm really happy, and I'm gonna respond to this person in the nicest way possible, in the happiest / wholesome way possible. And I've actually been feeling a lot better. I've been feeling a lot happier. And
15 seconds.
And people, and I think people have also said the same thing. Like one of my friends, I don't know if I should get into this, but yeah, I've helped him out with a few things. And he's helped me out.
Cool. Basically, be positive and try not to react badly. That's summed up.
Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali, and that's the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to have another podcast session with you again.
Yeah. But yeah.
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 Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Bye bye.